Hello guys, it's Laquanta19 here, and today's video is going to be different. With episode 111, we reached the halfway point of the tournament, and I thought the best thing to do right now is to pick my top 5 favorite episodes since this tournament began. Tournament of Power is part of Universal Survival arc. It's not an arc itself, but this video is just going to be focused on tournament itself that began on episode 97. We have had 14 episodes on Tournaments of Power, and I can say that I didn't expect this arc to be as good as it turned out to be. It was really tough for me to pick just 5 episodes, but I have to do that. Guys, this is only my list, you don't have to agree with it. I'm glad that you are watching this only, but you can leave just your own list on the comments down below because I'm really interested to see which ones you love the most. And now let's begin. My number 5 is episode 104. The ultimate high-speed battle begins. Hit and Goku join forces. This episode came right after an emotional episode, the Eraser of Universe 10, which became the second erased universe on this Tournament of Power, and even 7 episodes later it is still on the same way. This episode had emotions included from the fight of Gohan with Obuni from Universe 10. Gohan knocked Obuni out and then found his locket with a picture of his family on it, and I believe it hit everyone hard. It was emotional, and I thought it was going to be very hard for Toei to produce a quality episode after that, because they did have to completely change the pace, and I believe they did it very well. And now let's go to the actual episode. This episode had an actual drama in it, compared to what Toei was trying to do in the episode before. This was totally different. As you can see, they managed to make us actually believe what was going on. Unlike what they did with Goku, it had a clear tension. Hit has been my favorite new character introduced in Dragon Ball Super, in all honesty, probably alongside Whis, and it was really good for me to see that he was getting an episode of his own, and actually teaming up with my all-time favorite character. Not only that Hit was just fighting, but it was actually all different from when he fought Goku back in tournament between Universe 6 and Universe 7. This episode wasn't just about Hit improving because he's facing a strong opponent. This was more about Hit as a martial artist. He took his disadvantage against Dyspo to turn it into advantage, and that's what I like. It made me love Hit as a character even more. And of course, it was nice to see Toyotaro's idea implemented into the anime too. Goku switching from his God form to blue in order to save the stamina and be effective in a fight. Also, this episode ended in a perfect way between Hit and Goku, that they truly have respect for each other. That's what it showed. Despite what they say, this episode was great, but choosing top 5 was so much harder than I expected. And let's move on. For my number 4, I have episode 105, A Desperate Battle, Master Roshi's Sacrifice. To be honest, I didn't enjoy the fighting on this episode that much. It just wasn't that great compared to the one before. But the writing on this was completely different, and I don't think that there is any person who didn't gain respect for Muten Roshi. A guy who has been a pervert for the whole Dragon Ball history actually changing his ways. It was a nice touch there, especially when they made it show like the training didn't work and it changed completely. Just like most of the Dragon Ball fans, I had my doubts about Master Roshi in this tournament. Especially after seeing that you can get dead people for just one day. Why don't you just get someone stronger than him? But with this episode, they actually proved me totally wrong, and I loved it. I love being wrong on this. More so than anything else, the emotions towards the end of this episode were great, especially with Master Roshi's speech, where he said that he has been pushed to break his limits thanks to his students who did the same thing. Goku and Krillin had a huge impact on him, and this episode ended in a perfect way, especially since we got to see the main character of Dragon Ball cry. for the first time as an adult, and actually only the second time overall. The first time that Goku cried was actually when Grandpa Gohan came back from the other world for just one day in the mini tournament from the fortune teller Bala. It was emotionally this episode, and actually that relief that I felt when I saw Master Roshi alive, it was awesome. And as I said, fighting wasn't impressive and it could have been done much better, but I love this episode and this is why it goes on my number 4. Now we jump to number 3, episode 111, the surreal supreme battle, Hit versus Jiren. This episode actually aired last night and it was amazing from my point of view. Watching it live actually didn't impress me that much, but as I said on my review, I was spoiled thanks to the special episode or episode 109 and 110. Rewatching it again and being prepared to what is expecting me made me appreciate this episode way more, and hats off to Toei for actually not dropping the quality of the episode. Yes, it was much slower paced than the two before, but they just cannot go through with that kind of pace. They managed to slow it down in a perfect way. The fight between Hit and Jiren was actually impressive, and it was nice to see the other side of it. That cold guy wasn't there. He was a different guy, and I loved it. I'll try not to spoil anything for some of you who haven't seen it yet, so I will just say that I wish they would make the fight last a bit longer, because it was so damn exciting. Also, I just love how badass Jiren is. There are people who actually are not impressed by Jiren, but I'm loving how they made him until now. He is simply, I love that. Also, the development of other characters was very good, such as Koba's. And actually is worth mentioning the part of Goku and Frieza when the Emperor of Universe 7 pays Goku back for what he did in Namek. I'm trying not to spoil anything, guys, so just go ahead and watch it. It's an amazing episode. And I guess all of you guys just know who my top 2 is going to be. But let's start with number 2. Episode 109. The ultimate enemy approaches, Goku. Now let loose the killer spirit bomb. I believe this was number 1 episode for everyone until they watched the other one that I will get in a bit. This episode started actually pretty boring with Goku against Ribrianne just dragging their fight around. But the shot of Goku hitting and throwing her at Jiren was awesome. And I can say that I loved the comedy there with Ribrianne going to Jiren like, "Do you want to confess your love to me? And just so you know, if you do that, I'm going to ignore you." I like that and it really made me laugh. Ribrianne in general is an annoying character. Probably she was created for that purpose, since she is a parody of magical girls like Sailor Moon, for example. But once you get past that part of the episode, it becomes a masterpiece. Jiren showcasing his power for the first time, amazing. The whole world of Void was just shaking by his little power up while walking. Jiren's power didn't just make gods nervous, but actually Goku himself, who was starting to sweat while just being prepared to fight. You barely see Goku like that. Jiren's domination on Goku was amazingly made, as it gave Goku some moments to shine, but actually they showed us how strong in reality Jiren is. That guy is a real monster. He was pushing the spirit bomb with just one hand when Goku was in his base form. Just one hand. It was unbelievable. It was a great episode from any kind of perspective that you see. Let's just move on. And we finally reached the end of my list. Number 1. Episode 110. Son Goku Awakens. New level of awakening. How can you do this list and not have this episode as your number 5? Okay, you can. But still, those two episodes were amazing and actually have gotten people more and more excited to watch Dragon Ball Super. It definitely lived up the hype. I just feel sorry for myself that I was spoiled on what was going to happen. At least a little bit of it. The drama about Goku being dead, his comeback, everything was perfectly done. So many good parts on this episode. It was a total perfection. Perfect animation, perfect art, perfect writing. I have watched these two episodes, so 109 and 110, more than 6 times since they have been released. And I enjoyed every little bit of it. It has gotten me more and more excited for the end of this tournament. And that doesn't look to be close. But I'm also looking forward to every episode coming out. It has been great. Tournament of Power has lived up the hype, guys. It has been an amazing part of arc until now, but this is actually should be the ending part of the Universal Survival arc. So I believe that this arc ends with Tournament of Power. Guys, I sat the entire day today watching the episodes of Dragon Ball Super and I came up with the idea of doing this. I actually had the idea, but I wasn't sure. But it was quite challenging to pick only 5. I thought it would be a lot easier than it turned out to be. I actually feel very bad about having to leave some of the episodes out that were amazing. But also one other thing, guys, is that I believe I will do another video, and this time it's going to be about top 5 worst episodes in Tournament of Power. And that should be exciting too, I guess. Not all of them were bad, but I wanna go through that list too. I should do it in one of these days, so make sure you look out for that. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And I hope you made it to the end. Don't forget to click that like button and show some love. Comment your top 5 Tournament of Power episodes and also subscribe to the channel for more content. Peace.